Welcome to Void Realities, a place where sleepless minds can drift through wonder. Here the vast silence of the universe becomes a gentle companion, and science turns into soft whispers for the night. If you cannot sleep, let your thoughts travel with us, through stars, through time, through mysteries that never end. Close your eyes, breathe slowly, and let the void carry you. Does space end? The first breath of the cosmos. You close your eyes and drift backward, past your own memories, past all of human history. The universe, once a silent nothing, takes its first breath of light and space. You imagine yourself floating at that first spark, where beginnings and endings blur. Every expansion since then is still inside you, quietly unfolding. You close your eyes and the world around you begins to soften. The edges of sound blur. The weight of your body feels lighter. It is as though you are loosening from the small circle of the present moment, drifting into a wider, deeper current. With one breath, you feel yourself stepping backward in time. A single inhale carries you beyond your day, beyond the weeks and years that shaped you. A single exhale lets the present dissolve into mist. You fall through layers of history, each one thinner than the last. Civilizations fade, cities crumble to dust. The traces of language, song, and story dissolve into silence. Keep breathing, and even the memory of mountains and rivers washes away. The earth itself disappears beneath you, like a small stone sinking back into the waters of time. Now you are suspended in a vast, dark quiet. There are no stars yet. No galaxies, only a waiting stillness. It is not empty. It is charged with potential, like a held breath before a word is spoken. And then, without warning, everything begins. The universe exhales. It is not a violent explosion, not a thunderclap tearing the silence apart. It is more like a sudden unfolding, a flower opening all at once, a light rushing outward in every direction. The beginning is called the Big Bang, though the name is a little misleading. There was no sound. Sound needs air to travel, and there was none. There was only the swelling of space itself, faster than light, faster than thought, faster than any rhythm you can hold. You imagine yourself inside this first moment, not standing outside and watching it happen, but floating within it, as though you are a single spark inside a fireball. Everywhere you look, there is not emptiness but motion, particles flickering into existence, energy stretching, the fabric of reality itself pulling wider. The universe, in its first instant, is unimaginably small, smaller than a grain of sand, smaller than a speck of dust caught in a shaft of sunlight. Yet within it lives everything, every galaxy, every star, every ocean, every breath that will ever exist. It all begins here, folded into a space too small to see, too dense to imagine. Then expansion begins. It is called cosmic inflation, a rush of growth so rapid that space itself races outward, carrying energy, possibility, and the faint seeds of structure. You breathe in and you feel the vastness expanding in your chest. You breathe out and you sense the universe continuing to unfold around you. Even now, billions of years later, the universe still carries the echo of this first breath. Scientists call it the cosmic microwave background, a faint glow, the afterlight of creation, stretched thin across the heavens. If you could tune your ears to it, you would hear a soft static, like a lullaby whispered across time. This glow is not gone. It still touches your skin, even as you lie here, eyes closed. The newborn universe is a sea of particles, tiny points of matter rushing, colliding, and cooling. At first they cannot hold together. They are too hot, too quick, too restless. But with time, the fever of creation softens. The first atoms appear, mostly hydrogen and helium, the simplest, lightest gases. Picture them like mist drifting across an endless sky. Thin, invisible, patient. For millions of years, the universe is filled with nothing but these clouds, waiting to gather, waiting to ignite. And then, slowly, gravity begins its gentle pull. Gravity is the quiet hand that draws all things toward one another. It gathers the mist of atoms into clouds, The clouds into knots, the knots into spheres. The first stars are born. You watch them flicker awake one by one like lanterns in the night. Their light spills into the darkness, painting the cosmos for the first time. These are not ordinary stars, they are massive blazing giants, burning hotter and faster than the ones you see now in the night sky. Inside their fiery cores, something miraculous begins. The simple atoms fuse together, creating heavier ones: carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, iron. The elements of rivers, trees, mountains. The elements of your blood, your bones, your breath. You pause here, resting in this thought. The stars are not just lights above you. They are your ancestors. The iron that carries oxygen through your veins, the calcium in your teeth, the carbon in every cell of your body. All of it was born in these first stars. When they died, they scattered their treasures into space, making worlds possible, making you possible. As you float in this memory of creation, you realize that beginnings and endings are not separate. The death of a star becomes the birth of a planet. The collapse of one form becomes the shaping of another. Nothing is lost. It is only transformed, recycled, reborn. This truth hums softly through your body. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are not a guest in its halls. You are woven into its very fabric. The first breath of the universe moves through you still, as steady and gentle as the rise and fall of your own chest. You breathe and galaxies drift. You exhale and stars burn. You inhale and space continues to widen. The first breath is not over. It is happening now. Your eyelids feel heavier, but your mind remains awake in wonder. You imagine drifting among the stars, gliding past nebula that glow like soft clouds of color, past galaxies swirling in elegant spirals. Each one is another chapter in the same story. Each one is a note in the same song. Perhaps there was never truly nothing. Perhaps before the first breath there was potential, fields of possibility, tiny fluctuations like ripples waiting to grow. Nothing may only be another word for silence before a symphony. And in that silence you feel peace. You do not need to solve the puzzle tonight. You do not need to reach an answer. It is enough to rest inside the mystery, to feel it as a cradle rather than a question. The stars continue burning softly. The galaxies continue spinning, slow and patient. The echo of the beginning still lingers in the background of existence, like a warm hum. And you are part of it. Not separate, not outside. You are the continuation of the story. You are the unfolding. The first breath of the cosmos is also your breath. The rhythm of your lungs matches the rhythm of space itself. You drift gently and calmly in this infinite expansion. And as you hover between wakefulness and sleep, you wonder, if the universe began with a breath, does it ever need to end? The question lingers softly, like a horizon that never arrives. If space began, does it stretch forever, or does it curve back upon itself like an ocean without shores? The ocean without shores. Space stretches out before you like a vast unbroken sea. There are no edges, no cliffs to fall from, only endless drifting waters of stars. You learn that infinity is not a number but a feeling, a horizon that never arrives. Your mind gently rocks in this boundless tide. You drift now, deeper into the silence of the cosmos. Chapter 1 was the inhale, the beginning, the spark of light that brought everything into being. Now as you rest here in the stillness, you begin to sense the scale of it all. The universe, vast beyond imagining, stretches before you like an endless sea. It is not a sea of water, but of stars. Galaxies shine like luminous islands scattered across an infinite expanse. You float above them, watching their spirals turn slowly, as though time itself has slowed to the rhythm of a soft tide. You wonder, almost instinctively, where this ocean ends. On Earth, every sea eventually meets a shore. Rivers meet mountains, roads come to cliffs, journeys arrive at destinations, but in space there is no shoreline to touch, no edge where the water stops and land begins. Instead, space continues outward, without a boundary, without a finish line. Infinity. It is a word that feels heavy at first, too large, too abstract, too ungraspable. But as you float here, infinity begins to feel less like a number and more like a presence. Not something to solve, but something to rest inside. Like lying beneath a night sky that has no end. You remember that when you look up from Earth, the stars you see are not evenly scattered. They form patterns, clusters, galaxies, and beyond them, billions more galaxies shine, each one with hundreds of billions of stars, each star with its own worlds. To your eyes, the night sky might look like a handful of points scattered on black velvet, but in truth, it is a shoreless ocean. The more you gaze into this ocean, the more you realize you are not outside it. You are part of it. Your body, your breath, the atoms that compose you, all of them are currents in this sea. To drift through space is not to leave yourself behind, but to find yourself reflected on a grander scale. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of an earthly ocean. The water moves endlessly toward the horizon, and though you know the earth is round, your eyes tell you that the line between sea and sky is final. You cannot see beyond it. Space is like that horizon. There may be no wall, no edge, only a line that keeps receding as you travel toward it. Cosmologists describe the universe in ways that echo this image. Some believe space is infinite, stretching forever without border. Others imagine it as curved like the surface of a sphere. On a sphere you can walk forever without ever finding an edge, circling endlessly, returning always to where you began. If you set sail across the ocean of the cosmos, would you ever return to your starting place, or would you drift forever without repetition, without shore? You float with the question. There is no urgency to answer it. The mystery itself is a comfort, like waves lapping gently against the side of a boat. You breathe in, the galaxies drift a little closer in your imagination. You breathe out, they stretch farther away as though the tide itself carries them. The rhythm of your lungs becomes the rhythm of the cosmos. In the quiet of this meditation, you think of explorers long before you. Humans have always looked at the horizon and wondered what lies beyond it. The ocean once felt infinite, too vast to cross. The sky once felt unreachable, too high to touch. Yet step by step, sail by sail, question by question, we have expanded the circle of what we know. And still, the ultimate horizon remains. Does space itself end, or is it endless? Infinity again whispers its soft reply. Infinity is not about numbers, it is about never arriving. It is the road that stretches without end, the tide that never retreats, the horizon that moves forward as you follow. You begin to notice something subtle. The more you surrender to this idea, the calmer you feel. Instead of being lost in vastness, you are held by it. Instead of fearing the absence of edges, you find comfort in the absence of walls. This is not emptiness, this is openness. The ocean without shores does not push you away. It rocks you gently like a cradle too vast to measure. Its rhythm is steady, its silence is soothing, its endlessness is a promise that there is always more, always another wave, always another horizon to follow. You imagine drifting deeper. Galaxies pass you like islands, each one glowing faintly in the soft night. The spiral arms of stars curve gracefully, and between them lies darkness, but not emptiness. Even the dark is alive with particles, with fields, with unseen whispers of energy. This ocean is never still. It is always moving, always flowing, always unfolding. And still you feel no rush to reach an answer. You let yourself be carried. Perhaps this is what infinity really means. Not a number you cannot count, but a journey you never need to finish. As you rest inside this thought, you remember that light itself is a traveler on this sea. Every star sends out waves of light that drift endlessly, moving outward without ever stopping. Some of that light has traveled billions of years to reach Earth. When you look at the night sky, you are not just seeing stars as they are now. You are seeing messages from the past, light that began its journey long before humans existed, long before Earth itself was formed. Each star is like a lighthouse on the shoreless sea, sending its signal across time. And you, drifting here, are both traveler and witness. You close your eyes again and feel the sway of infinity. It is not overwhelming, it is not frightening, it is steady, gentle, patient, a tide without end. The question still lingers, does space end or does it continue forever? You do not need to answer it now. The mystery is part of the lullaby. The horizon is part of the dream. Your breath deepens, your body grows heavier with rest, lighter with wonder. You are floating on the ocean of stars, rocked gently towards sleep. But as you drift, you notice something. This ocean is not still. It is moving. The galaxies are not fixed in place. They are sliding farther and farther apart. The sea is expanding. The horizon itself is drifting away. And so you realize infinity may not be static. It may be growing. The tide is not motionless. It carries every star, every galaxy farther away with each passing moment. The ocean is expanding, and you drift with it, wondering how silence itself can stretch. The expanding silence. You listen for the universe's quiet pulse, galaxies drifting apart with each second. The farther they drift, the redder their light becomes, a whisper fading into night. You breathe with the rhythm of this expansion, as if your chest follows the cosmos. Every heartbeat becomes a map of distance and time. The ocean you float upon is not still. Its waters are not calm, fixed, or frozen. You begin to notice the subtle motion beneath the surface, a steady outward drift, gentle but relentless. Every island of light, every cluster of stars, is moving farther away from every other. It is as though the very fabric of space is stretching, like the slow rise of dough in a bowl, like the gentle opening of a hand. You feel yourself carried in that motion, not swimming, not struggling, simply moving because the sea itself is moving. This is the great expansion of the universe, a truth both quiet and vast. Long ago, in the early 20th century, astronomers peered into the sky and noticed something extraordinary. The galaxies they studied were not standing still. Their light carried a secret message. Each one was receding, sliding farther into the distance. The farther away the galaxy, the faster it was moving. It was Edwin Hubble who first traced this truth with clarity, mapping the galaxies and showing that the universe was not static, as many once believed. It was expanding. The silence itself was stretching. You picture this expansion not as galaxies rushing through space, but as space itself widening between them. Imagine dots on a balloon. As the balloon inflates, the dots do not move across its surface. The surface itself stretches, carrying them apart. The cosmos does the same. Galaxies are carried outward by the fabric of space expanding between them. You breathe in and feel your chest expand. You breathe out and imagine the universe doing the same. Not in cycles of inhale and exhale, but in a steady outward release that has continued for billions of years. The expansion leaves a mark on the light itself. Every wave of light stretches as it travels, its peaks and valleys pulled wider, its color shifting. This is called redshift because light stretched into longer wavelengths drifts toward the red end of the spectrum. You imagine the stars speaking to you in color. The farther they are, the softer their voice, the redder their whisper. A nearby galaxy might shine like a clear tone, but one very far away fades into a low hum, almost disappearing. The universe is filled with these whispers, voices of ancient light stretched thin across time. And as you listen, you begin to sense the silence itself. Not silence as absence, but silence as expansion. A silence so vast that sounds never reach, that words dissolve before they arrive. This is the silence of galaxies parting, the silence of light fading, the silence that grows larger with every passing moment. It is not an empty silence, it is a living one. You float in it weightless and find comfort. The expansion does something else that feels almost paradoxical. It means there are regions of the universe you can never reach, not because they are hidden by walls, but because the fabric of space between you and them is stretching faster than light can cross it. No matter how far or how long you travel, these galaxies will recede beyond your grasp. They drift into a kind of cosmic night from which no message can return. This boundary is called the cosmic horizon, the farthest edge of what can ever be seen or known. Beyond it, light has not had enough time to arrive, and in some cases never will. The horizon is not fixed. It moves with you, growing as the universe grows, but always keeping certain distances forever unreachable. You pause here, breathing into this thought. There is something deeply calming in the idea of horizons. Just as the sea meets the sky on Earth, the universe too has a horizon. But unlike a line you might cross, this one recedes as you follow it. It is not a finish line, but a reminder of mystery, that some truths are always beyond reach, and that is what makes them precious. You imagine light itself as a traveler, leaving the surface of a star and beginning a journey across billions of years. It races forward, but the sea stretches under it, pulling the shore farther away. Some light will never reach you. Some will fade before arrival. Yet what does arrive carries the story of the cosmos written in its glow. Your body begins to relax deeper. The rhythm of expansion feels familiar now, like the rhythm of your own being. Your heart beats, sending pulses of blood outward into your body. Your lungs expand and contract, filling and emptying, though the universe itself only expands. Your thoughts drift outward too, not in a rush, but in a patient widening. You realize that even silence has a pulse. The silence of space is not empty. It is alive with this gentle expansion, this steady unfolding. You can almost hear it, not as a sound, but as a rhythm, like the soundless beating of a drum beyond hearing. And then you wonder, if the universe is expanding now, what came before? Was there a moment when it was smaller, tighter, denser? Was there a time when galaxies were closer, stars more crowded, light more intense? The answer is yes. Long ago, the cosmos was younger, more compact. Galaxies lay closer together, the light was brighter, the silence less deep. But expansion is not something that begins and ends. It continues, changing the face of the universe across time. In the far future, billions upon billions of years from now, the galaxies that are visible today will drift beyond the horizon. Future observers may look up and see only darkness, unaware of the vast ocean that once revealed itself. The silence will grow larger. The whispers will grow fainter. And still, expansion will continue, quietly, without pause. You let yourself rest in that thought. Change is not something to resist. It is the natural breath of the cosmos. To expand is to exist. To drift apart is to allow room for everything to unfold. Your body too is expanding in small ways. Each breath opens you. Each thought reaches outward, touches the edges of possibility. You are not separate from this silence. You are part of it. You close your eyes more deeply, imagining yourself as a single point of light in this expanding sea. You do not need to see the whole. You only need to feel the rhythm of widening. The silence stretches, the galaxies drift, the horizon recedes, and you float, carried gently outward. But even as you drift, another question rises softly in your mind. If expansion never ends, does that mean space itself has no boundary? Or could the edges of the universe curve back upon themselves, hidden like the roundness of the earth? You rest with the thought, carried by silence, wondering if the universe has no end at all. Or if its edges are folded in ways you cannot yet see. Edges that are not edges. You wonder if space has a wall, a barrier where everything stops. But space folds like a sphere, or stretches like a loop with no end. What feels like an edge is only a return to where you began. The infinite disguises itself as a circle of belonging. You drift farther into the silence, carried by the slow expansion of the universe. The question grows quietly inside you. If everything stretches outward, If galaxies drift apart endlessly, then what lies at the edge? It feels natural to ask. On Earth, every journey has a border. Rivers meet their delta, roads reach a dead end. Mountains rise into peaks that cannot be climbed higher. Your daily life is shaped by edges, the limits of time, the boundaries of skin, the walls of a room. So your mind, shaped by Earth, wonders, does space have a wall too? You float with the question, letting it expand in your thoughts. Imagine sailing across an ocean. At first you believe there must be an edge, a place where the water falls into nothingness. For centuries humans believed the world was flat. But when sailors circled the globe, they found no cliff, no edge. Instead, the Earth's surface curved, folding back upon itself. What seemed like an ending was only a return. Space may be like that. Perhaps it is not infinite in the way of a straight road that never ends. Perhaps it is infinite in the way of a circle, or the surface of a sphere. You can travel forever without finding a wall, because there is no outside. The universe does not need an edge, just as the Earth does not need an edge to hold the oceans in place. You picture yourself moving forward in this vast expanse. You keep going farther and farther, across galaxies and stars. You imagine doing this forever, always in the same direction. And yet, in some visions of the cosmos, after traveling long enough, you would eventually return to your starting place, not because you turned, but because space itself curved beneath you. Edges, it seems, can be illusions. Mathematicians and physicists describe these possibilities with shapes beyond ordinary imagination. Curved space, closed geometries, topologies that bend in dimensions unseen. You do not need to solve their equations tonight. You only need to hold the image gently, like a seashell in your hand. Space not as a flat stretch, but as a loop, where endings dissolve into beginnings. As you float, you realize how many times life has taught this lesson already. The edge of a day becomes the dawn of another. The edge of breath is not silence, but the beginning of the next inhale. Even the beating of your heart has no true edge. Each contraction is followed by expansion, each pause by a rhythm renewed. The body, like the universe, turns endings into circles. And yet edges are powerful teachers. You live your days aware of time's borders, birth and death, meeting and parting, sunrise and sunset. You know edges intimately. But in the wider view, perhaps even these are not final. Perhaps they are curves too, folding into unseen arcs. The stars above you seem fixed, but you know they are not. Their light travels across billions of years. Some may already be gone, their glow only now arriving. The edge of their life does not end their story. It extends, woven into your eyes, your thoughts, your dreams. You breathe and the idea softens. Space may not be bordered, but it may be curved, like a great fabric folded on itself, or a loop woven so vast you cannot see the seam. Imagine walking on Earth again. No matter how far you travel east, there is always more east to go. You never find the end of east. Space may be the same. No matter how far you go, there is always farther, because direction itself folds back. Astronomers wonder about this too. Is the universe flat, stretching forever in every direction, or is it closed, looping back on itself like the surface of a sphere? Measurements of cosmic background light suggest it may be very close to flat. But close is not the same as certain, and certainty in the vastness of space may never come. You do not need certainty now, you only need to rest in possibility. Edges that are not edges remind you that reality can be different from your first thought. What feels final may be only a doorway. What feels like a wall may be a bend. Infinity may disguise itself as a loop, hiding its vastness in the comfort of return. You close your eyes more deeply and feel yourself walking along this curved space. You take a step, then another, and though you never turn, you sense that the path circles back. The journey is endless but never wasted. Each step teaches you something new. Each step is part of the curve. The universe does not need an edge to hold itself. It is self-contained, like a poem with no missing lines. You pause in thought. Even the word edge changes when seen this way. Perhaps edges are not boundaries that stop you. Perhaps they are transition, like the edge of a forest meeting a meadow, or the edge of night flowing into dawn. In this sense, edges are not walls but thresholds. They lead you on, not hold you back. The cosmos too may be like this. What seems like an edge, the farthest galaxy, the horizon of light, may only be a threshold into more, into mystery, into a curve you cannot yet perceive. You rest with that thought, calm and safe. There is no cliff to fall from in space, no wall to crash against. There is only motion, only unfolding, only the endless turning of circles too wide for the eye to see. Your breath falls into rhythm again. Inhale, the universe expands. Exhale, it curves around you. The rhythm of edges, the rhythm of circles, the rhythm of belonging. And as you drift, you realize something else. If the universe may fold, if space may loop, then what lies beyond the visible is not only unknown but unknowable. There may be no beyond at all. You live inside the whole, already complete. You do not stand at the edge of reality. You float inside it, embraced by its curve. The comfort of this realization is profound. You cannot fall out of the cosmos. You cannot reach its end and tumble into nothing. You are always inside, always within, always carried by the circle. And yet, even as you rest, another thought stirs softly. If there are no edges, only horizons, what does it mean that we can see only part of the whole? If the universe curves, then perhaps we live in a space larger than we can ever know, with regions beyond sight, hidden beyond the cosmic horizon. The thought lingers like a soft tide. There are horizons but no walls. What lies beyond them? You drift toward the question, into the gentle mystery of the cosmic horizon. The cosmic horizon. There is a line beyond which no light will ever reach you. It is not a wall but a horizon, like the edge of the sea on a calm day. You rest in the comfort of knowing the universe is both near and unreachable. It gives you the gift of mystery, a reason to keep dreaming forward. You drift deeper into the ocean of space, carried by the thought that edges may not be real, that the cosmos folds or stretches in ways beyond your sight. And yet, as you float, you notice something else. There is still a limit to what you can see. Not a wall, not an edge, but a horizon. It is like standing on the shore of Earth's ocean. The water seems to stretch forever, but your eyes can only reach as far as the horizon. Beyond it, more ocean continues, but you cannot see it. The universe, too, has a horizon, a cosmic horizon. This horizon is not made of water and sky, but of time and light. It is the farthest distance from which light has had enough time to reach you since the birth of the cosmos. Because the universe has only existed for a finite span, about 13.8 billion years, there is only so far light can travel in that time. That limit forms the horizon of the visible universe. You pause with the thought, and it settles softly inside you. What you see in the night sky is not the whole. It is only the part of the story close enough for light to arrive. Beyond the horizon lies more, perhaps infinitely more, but it is hidden, unreachable, still sailing in the dark. You breathe in and you imagine that boundary as a circle around you, a sphere of visibility stretching outward. Astronomers have measured its size, about 46 billion light-years in every direction. That number is almost too large to hold in the mind. 46 billion light-years, a distance so vast that even light, the fastest traveler in existence, needs billions of years to cross it. And yet this is only the visible bubble, the horizon of what can be known. Beyond it, the universe continues, perhaps endlessly. The idea brings both comfort and humility. Comfort because the horizon is not a wall. It does not trap you. It only reminds you that some mysteries remain out of reach. Humility because no matter how far you look, no matter how powerful the telescope, there will always be more, always an unseen beyond. You think of sailors again long ago, who believed the ocean's horizon was the edge of the world. They feared falling into nothingness, but when they sailed beyond, they found more sea, more lands, more sky. Humanity has always grown by pushing horizons outward. The cosmic horizon is different, though. This one cannot be crossed. It is not a trick of the eye, it is a law of time and space. Still, there is beauty in this limit. Without it, the universe would feel too open, too vast to grasp at all. The horizon gives you a frame, a boundary of vision, like the frame of a window that allows you to see the view without being blinded by its immensity. You close your eyes and picture this horizon, a sphere of light, glowing faintly, surrounding you. On its surface lies the oldest light, the cosmic microwave background, the afterglow of the Big Bang. It is the farthest signal you can detect, a whisper from the universe when it was only 380,000 years old. Before that, the cosmos was too dense, too hot, too foggy with particles for light to travel freely. So the horizon is not only a boundary of distance, but a boundary of time. Beyond it lies the universe before light could move, a universe hidden forever from direct sight. You rest in this thought. When you look at the horizon, you are also looking back in time. Every step outward is a step into the past. The stars you see tonight may be millions of years old in their light. The galaxies on the horizon are billions of years old. To gaze outward is to gaze backward, to see the story unfolding not all at once but layer by layer as it was written. This is why astronomers sometimes say telescopes are time machines. When you look far enough, you glimpse not the universe as it is, but as it was. The cosmic horizon is the ultimate limit of this time travel, the oldest memory written in light. You breathe slowly, letting this truth settle in your chest. The horizon is not emptiness, it is memory. It is the farthest dream the universe can send you. But there is more to this horizon. It is not fixed. Just as the surface of Earth's ocean changes with your vantage point, the cosmic horizon shifts with time. As the universe expands, the horizon stretches. New regions drift into view, even as others recede forever. The balance is delicate. Some galaxies you see now will eventually vanish beyond reach, pulled away faster than light by the expansion of space. The horizon grows, but the story it shows is never the same. This too is a kind of comfort. The horizon is alive, changing with time, revealing more of the cosmos even as it hides some of it. The universe is not static, it is dynamic, like the tide, always in motion, always unveiling and concealing. You picture yourself standing at this cosmic shore. The horizon glows faintly before you, like a line where sea meets sky. You cannot step beyond it, but you can stand here and watch. And in that watching you feel both small and infinite. Small because you are a single point inside an immense story. Infinite because your mind, your imagination, can drift beyond the horizon even if your body cannot. This is the gift of the cosmic horizon. Mystery. Without it, everything would be visible, everything revealed. But mystery gives depth, gives space for dreaming. It reminds you that there is always more, always beyond, always possibility. The horizon is not a cage. It is an invitation to wonder, to imagine, to dream into the unseen. Your breath falls into rhythm again. Inhale, the horizon stretches. Exhale, the galaxies drift. Inhale, the silence deepens. Exhale, the mystery grows. And in this rhythm you find yourself resting. You no longer need to solve the riddle of what lies beyond the horizon. You only need to drift in the knowledge that it exists, that the universe, like your own heart, holds secrets beyond what can be measured. The cosmic horizon is not an ending, it is a promise that even in the vastness there is always more to learn, more to feel, more to become. You float quietly in this thought. The horizon glows softly at the edges of your vision, a circle of ancient light. Within it lies everything you can ever know. Beyond it lies everything you cannot. Together they weave the fabric of the universe, known and unknown, seen and unseen, present and possible. The mystery soothes you. It rocks you gently like the tide of a shoreless sea. You drift, calm and steady, carried by light, held by silence, surrounded by infinity. But as you rest here, another thought rises like a shadow in the distance. If the horizon marks what you cannot see, what about the places where even light itself cannot escape? What about the regions where gravity pulls so fiercely that not even whispers of brightness can reach you? You drift toward the question, softly, gently, toward the mystery of black holes. The horizon fades behind you and a darker threshold appears ahead, places where light itself is trapped, where the silence deepens into hidden rooms of the cosmos. Black holes and hidden rooms. You float near the silent mouths of black holes where light itself is swallowed. They are not endings but secret doors, places where time folds differently. Each one is a library of forgotten stories, hidden from view but not erased. You linger at their edge, safe, wondering what lies behind the veil. You drift now from the horizon of light into a darker, stranger frontier. It is a place where the rules you have always trusted, the steady passing of time, the freedom of light, the openness of space, begin to bend. Ahead of you the stars grow sparse, and in their absence you feel an unseen presence. A black hole. It does not shine. It does not call attention to itself with light or color. Instead, it is defined by its silence, by its refusal to let anything escape. Around it stars bend, their paths curved by gravity's fierce hand. The black hole itself is invisible, yet its influence is everywhere, like an unseen tide tugging at all nearby. You approach carefully, yet without fear. For though you cannot fall, you can imagine. You can stand at its threshold, at the place where light itself hesitates. Black holes form when massive stars reach the end of their lives. After burning for millions of years, they collapse inward, their cores crushing under their own gravity. If the star is large enough, the collapse does not stop. It continues until everything, all the mass, all the matter, is squeezed into a point of unimaginable density. This point is called a singularity. Around it, space folds so steeply that nothing, not even light, can climb out. The boundary of this hidden room is called the event horizon. It is not a physical wall, but a limit. Once crossed, nothing returns. To stand at the event horizon is to stand at the edge of the known, looking into a place where time itself behaves differently. You breathe in, steady and calm, and picture yourself hovering at that threshold. You do not fall. You only observe. Around you, the fabric of space bends inward, as if the universe itself leans toward the darkness. Light from nearby stars curves, creating arcs and halos. Time slows near the horizon, not for you, but for anything falling in. If you could watch a clock on the edge of the black hole, you would see it tick slower and slower until it seems to stop altogether. This slowing is not an illusion. It is the effect of gravity on time itself, a phenomenon Einstein revealed in his theory of relativity. Where gravity is strong, time stretches, and nowhere is gravity stronger than here. You linger, fascinated. A black hole is not simply destruction. It is a hidden room, a secret place where the ordinary laws break down, where questions outweigh answers. What happens inside? No one truly knows. Some say the singularity is an end, a place where matter and energy collapse beyond recognition. Others imagine it as a doorway, a bridge to another region of space and time. These are only whispers, theories born from mathematics and imagination. No traveler can return to confirm them. But here, at the threshold, you find something else. Black holes, despite their name, are not silent voids. They reveal themselves in their surroundings. As gas and dust spiral toward the event horizon, they heat up, glowing with fierce light. This disk of matter, called an accretion disk, can shine brighter than entire galaxies. In this way, a black hole becomes both darkness and radiance, a paradox you can rest inside. You let the image soothe you. At the center, silence absolute. Around it, light in furious motion, stillness embraced by fire, a heart of shadow surrounded by brilliance. And then another layer of mystery unfolds. Black holes are not entirely silent after all. In the 1970s, Stephen Hawking revealed that they can slowly release energy, a faint radiation leaking from their horizons. Over immense spans of time, this process, called Hawking radiation, may cause black holes to shrink and eventually vanish. Even the most hidden rooms may one day dissolve. You breathe out and the thought drifts gently across your mind. Even black holes are not forever. This is comforting in its way. The cosmos holds nothing eternal except change itself. Stars are born, live and die. Black holes grow and fade. Horizons expand, silence deepens, all of it part of a rhythm beyond urgency, a rhythm you can surrender to now. Still, the most haunting mystery of black holes is what they keep hidden. Every particle, every photon that falls in, carries information, the details of its identity. What happens to that information? Is it lost forever or somehow preserved? Physicists call this the information paradox, a puzzle that touches the very foundations of reality. You do not need to solve it tonight. You only need to feel its weight. The black hole becomes a library of forgotten stories, pages torn from the universe and locked behind the veil. Whether they are truly lost or secretly stored in ways beyond comprehension, you cannot say. But the image itself is calming, a vast archive in shadow, holding the echoes of countless suns, countless lives of light. You hover at the edge and the silence feels almost sacred. This is not destruction, it is transformation. Not an end, but a secret room the cosmos has chosen not to reveal. As you drift, you imagine black holes scattered across the galaxy, each one a hidden chamber, each one a reminder that the universe is larger, stranger, and more mysterious than your eyes can see. And you find comfort in this too. The unknown does not need to frighten you. It can cradle you, rock you into rest, invite you into deeper wonder. You breathe again, slower now. The pull of the black hole is immense, but you are safe. You linger on the outside where light still travels, where questions still hum. The silence here is not empty. It is alive, brimming with mystery. The event horizon glows faintly in your imagination, not from light within, but from the bending of light around it. A perfect circle of darkness framed by stars. It feels less like a hole and more like an eye. The universe watching itself through you. You close your eyes and let yourself be carried by this thought. The black hole is not a monster. It is a mirror showing you that not all truths are visible, not all journeys return, not all mysteries can be solved. Some are meant to be felt, not answered. And so you rest at the threshold, calm and steady, letting the unknown hold you. But as you drift away, gently another thought rises. If even black holes with their hidden rooms are part of the cosmos, then what fills the vast stretches between them? If the stars are islands and black holes are secret chambers, what lies in the oceans of space that seem empty, but are never truly so? You leave the horizon of darkness behind and drift into the spaces between stars, into the quiet fullness that looks like nothing, yet holds everything in its invisible embrace. Space between the stars. Even in the vast dark, you find it is never empty. Invisible fields, ghostly particles, and quiet energies dance unseen. What looks like nothingness becomes a subtle fullness. Your breath synchronizes with this unseen fabric. You drift away from the deep shadows of black holes, leaving their secret rooms behind. Ahead lies what at first appears to be emptiness. The spaces between stars, between galaxies, stretch wide and dark. From a distance they seem like voids, endless hollows where nothing exists. But as you enter this quiet expanse, you notice something unexpected. The silence here is not truly empty. It hums softly, invisibly. What looks like nothing is, in truth, a fullness too subtle for the eye. You breathe in and the darkness seems to shimmer faintly. You breathe out and the quiet reveals its hidden depth. For centuries people imagined space as a pure void, a backdrop for stars and planets. Empty stage, silent canvas. But modern science has revealed something else. The emptiness between the stars is alive with unseen presence. First, there is gas and dust, thin, almost ghostly. In a single cubic meter of interstellar space, there may be only a few atoms, far fewer than the billions upon billions that fill the air in each breath you take on Earth. And yet, spread across the vast gulfs between stars, these wisps of hydrogen and helium become oceans of material, drifting slowly, patiently, waiting for gravity to gather them into new stars and worlds. You imagine these atoms as faint sparks, almost too dim to see, scattered across the dark. They are the seeds of creation, floating quietly until time itself plants them into something new. Beyond the dust and gas, there are cosmic rays, particles moving at incredible speeds, born in the fiery hearts of supernova and the swirling disks of black holes. They race invisibly through space, tiny messengers carrying the story of distant explosions. You cannot see them, but they brush against you even now, subtle reminders that the universe is not still but alive with motion. And still, there is more. Floating in this emptiness are ghost-like particles called neutrinos. They pass through everything, through planets, through oceans, through your very body, as if matter were nothing more than mist. Trillions of them pass through you each second, unnoticed, undetected, yet real. They are so elusive that they have been called phantom particles, born in the furnaces of stars and carried endlessly through the cosmos. You rest with this thought. Even in the quiet, you are never untouched. The cosmos passes through you in silence, filling you with its unseen rhythms. Then there are the invisible fields, electric and magnetic, stretching across the universe like unseen threads. They guide particles, shape galaxies, and ripple with energy. You cannot touch them, but they are always there, weaving structure through the dark. And deeper still, beneath particles and fields, there is the quiet presence of dark matter. You cannot see it, you cannot feel it directly, yet its gravity shapes the very skeleton of the universe. Galaxies spin the way they do only because dark matter holds them in place, a hidden scaffolding that keeps stars from flying apart. It outweighs the visible matter of the cosmos 5-1. In truth, most of the universe is made not of what you see, but of what you cannot. You breathe slowly, letting this truth wash over you. The darkness between the stars is not empty. It is a vast reservoir, a hidden fullness, and beyond even that, there is dark energy, a force more mysterious still. While dark matter holds galaxies together, dark energy pushes them apart, driving the expansion of the universe faster and faster. It is as though the silence itself is alive, restless, urging space to stretch. No one knows exactly what dark energy is, only that it shapes the fate of everything. You pause here, drifting in the awareness that mystery itself is the true fabric of the cosmos. You do not need to see it. You only need to rest inside it. The darkness between the stars feels different now. No longer empty, it is alive, filled with unseen particles, subtle energies, ghost-like presences. You realize that what appears to be nothing is actually everything disguised in silence. You close your eyes and feel your body as part of this fabric. Your breath becomes a rhythm that mirrors the quiet fullness of space. Inhale. The unseen particles pass through you. Exhale. Your own warmth radiates outward, joining the cosmic sea. Even here, you are connected. Even here, you belong. The spaces between the stars teach you something profound. Absence can be fullness. Silence can be music. What you cannot see can shape everything you know. This truth hums softly within you. Think of the spaces in your life, the pauses between words, the silence between notes of music, the stillness between heartbeats. Without them, sound would be noise, life would be chaos. It is the emptiness that gives shape to fullness. The cosmos too sings in silence. You drift farther, deeper into the interstellar dark. You imagine the hydrogen clouds spreading across light years, the ghostly neutrinos streaming endlessly, the web of dark matter cradling galaxies, the whisper of dark energy pushing them apart. It is all around you, all within you, all through you. And in this realization, you find peace. You no longer fear the dark. It is not void, it is presence. The space between stars is not a gap, but a bridge. It connects galaxies, it holds the scaffolding of creation, it hums with invisible life. The dark is not the opposite of light. It is the womb from which light is born. You breathe once more, deeply, slowly, peacefully. And then a question begins to rise, gentle but insistent. If the spaces between stars are so full of unseen presences, could there be other universes entirely, hidden not just in the dark between stars, but beyond our universe itself? The thought drifts through you like a whisper. What if our cosmos is only one bubble in a greater sea, unseen beyond the veil? You float toward that possibility, toward the quiet hint of a multiverse. Multiverse whispers. You hear a gentle suggestion. What if our universe is just one among many? Each bubble floats in a greater sea, unseen but softly imagined. It is not loneliness but companionship in cosmic disguise. You rest in the possibility that endings are only doorways to another room. You float in the fullness of the dark between stars, comforted by its unseen presence. Yet a new question stirs, faint as a whisper carried across an endless sea. What if this universe itself is not the whole? What if all you see, the galaxies, the stars, the invisible fabric of dark matter and energy, is only one world among many? The thought is not frightening. It is gentle, like a breeze brushing past your cheek. It carries with it a strange kind of companionship. Perhaps we are not alone as a universe. Perhaps the cosmos itself has siblings, cousins, or echoes. This idea, the multiverse, is not proven, but it rises naturally from science like mist rising from a river. Certain theories suggest it. The mathematics of quantum physics, the inflation of space in the early universe, the deep puzzles of cosmology. They all point to a possibility that our universe may be one bubble in a greater sea of universes, each with its own laws, its own story, its own unfolding. You close your eyes and imagine it, an ocean of universes, each like a glowing bubble, some larger, some smaller, some bright with stars, others dim and quiet. They float in a space beyond space, a time beyond time. Our universe, with all its galaxies, is only one bubble among countless others. You drift among them, weightless, carried by curiosity. In some universes, the laws of physics may resemble our own. Stars may shine, planets may form, life may arise. In others, the constants may be different, gravity weaker or stronger, atoms unstable, light behaving in unfamiliar ways. Some universes may collapse quickly, never lasting long enough to form galaxies. Others may stretch endlessly, silent and barren, yet still real. The thought soothes you because it reframes loneliness. Our universe, vast as it is, feels less like a solitary island and more like part of an archipelago, one among many shores scattered in an unseen ocean. You breathe and the whisper deepens. The multiverse suggests that creation is not a single act, but an ongoing rhythm. Not one breath, but many. Not one story, but countless stories told in parallel, each unfolding in its own way. Science offers different doorways into this idea. One is the theory of eternal inflation. In the earliest moment of our universe, space expanded rapidly, ballooning outward. But what if that expansion never ended entirely? What if in other regions it still continues, birthing new universes like bubbles in a boiling pot? In this view, our universe is only one bubble where inflation slowed, cooled, and formed galaxies, while countless other bubbles are still being born. Another doorway comes from quantum mechanics, the strange rules that govern the smallest scales of reality. In this realm, particles do not simply exist in one state. They exist in many possibilities at once. Some interpretations suggest that each possibility may play out in its own branch of reality. countless parallel universes unfolding every moment, each carrying a slightly different version of the story. You do not need to choose which picture is true. You only need to let the idea cradle you. The multiverse may or may not exist, but the possibility itself is a lullaby, a reminder that reality is deeper and more mysterious than any single frame can hold. You drift now, imagining universes side by side, never touching, never merging, yet real. Each one is like a dream, self-contained, complete in its own right. Together they form a chorus of creation, an unseen harmony beyond the reach of our telescopes, but not beyond the reach of wonder. You rest inside that harmony. There is comfort in the thought that if universes can be many, then endings are never final. If one cosmos fades, another begins. If one door closes, another opens in a different space, a different time. The multiverse whispers of renewal, of endless beginnings, and in this whisper you find reflection in your own life. You remember moments that felt like endings, the closing of a chapter, the silence after loss. Yet each ending carried within it the seed of something new, a new path, a new friendship, a new day. The multiverse suggests the same truth on a cosmic scale. Endings are not erasures, but thresholds. The spaces between universes may be unreachable, but imagination allows you to drift there. You picture them glowing softly, like lanterns in a night too vast to measure. Our universe is one such lantern, flickering gently, its light spreading across its own space, and beyond it more lanterns glow, not fewer, not one, many. You float among them without hurry. Each bubble you pass feels different, some warm, some cold, some bursting quickly, some lasting long. Together they form a cosmic meadow, a field of possibilities without limit, and yet you feel no need to solve the puzzle. Whether the multiverse is real or only a whisper of theory does not matter tonight. What matters is the peace it brings, that reality is larger than you can see, larger than you can prove, larger even than you can imagine. The multiverse is a lullaby of possibility. You breathe in slowly, inhale, countless universes shimmer, exhale, countless stories unfold. You are one story among them, precious not because it is the only one, but because it is yours. The whisper grows softer now, fading like a dream just before sleep. Still, its presence lingers. You are not trapped in one possibility. You are free to imagine more, to rest in the thought that reality itself is abundant, generous, unending. And so you let the multiverse carry you like a tide. You do not need to know its details, you only need to feel its presence, a gentle sea of bubbles, a quiet chorus of worlds, a reminder that mystery is not emptiness, but fullness beyond measure. You drift calm and steady, and the last thought rises, if there may be other universes, then what does it mean to be inside this one? What does it mean that your heartbeat, your breath, your body are part of this particular cosmos, unfolding here and now? The whisper fades, and you are left with the question, what is it to live inside this universe, this single precious horizon of stars? You drift toward yourself, toward the human horizon within the cosmic sea. The human horizon. Your own body is part of this expanding space. Your heartbeat measures time, your breath mirrors galaxies drifting apart. Within your mind, infinity lives as memory, imagination, and wonder. You carry the cosmos within your chest, and it never ends. The whispers of the multiverse fade, leaving you drifting gently back into yourself. After wandering through galaxies and horizons, you return to a quieter truth. You are not only in the universe is also in you. You breathe slowly, and each breath feels like a tide. Inhale, your chest expands like the fabric of space stretching outward. Exhale. The breath flows back like the fading glow of stars. Your body, in its rhythm, mirrors the cosmos. It may seem strange to compare your body to galaxies, yet the connection is real. You are made of the same atoms, forged in the same stars, carried through the same space. The hydrogen that once floated freely between galaxies became part of suns. The heavier elements forged in fire and scattered in supernova became the iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the oxygen you now draw into your lungs. When you breathe, you continue the story of the stars. You close your eyes and imagine your heartbeat. Steady, soft, patient. Each beat is a marker of time, a rhythm that carries you forward. Time itself is measured in pulses, whether the vibration of an atom in a clock or the steady thrum of your own heart. Your body is not separate from time, it is a clock within the larger clock of the cosmos. Your thoughts drift to your nervous system, the quiet hum of signals passing through your brain, the firing of neurons in delicate patterns. These signals are like galaxies of their own, tiny lights in a vast network, carrying information, storing memory, shaping the reality you experience. In their invisible dance, you glimpse another kind of universe, the one within your mind. And this mind is capable of holding infinity. It is capable of imagining horizons, black holes, multiverses. It carries questions that stretch beyond the edges of what can be proven. Within your mind lives the same mystery that fills the sky, possibility without end. You rest with that thought. The horizon is not only out there, at the edge of light. It is also within you. The farthest galaxies are mirrored by the farthest reaches of imagination. The deep silence of interstellar space is echoed by the deep silence you carry when you grow still. You breathe again, slower now, as though matching the pulse of the universe itself. And with each breath, you feel the connection deepen. Your body is not just stardust, it is also time made flesh. Every atom in you has traveled a journey billions of years long. Some atoms are as old as the universe itself, unchanged since the first breath of the cosmos. Others have been recycled countless times, part of ancient stars, ancient oceans, ancient lives. You are the meeting place of countless histories, all converging here in this single moment of awareness. You let this awareness sink into you. You are small, yes, but you are also vast. You are temporary, but also timeless. You are an edge, but also a horizon. Think of your senses. Your eyes gather light, just as telescopes gather starlight. Your ears collect vibrations, waves moving through air, not unlike the gravitational waves that ripple through space. Your skin feels touch, pressure, heat, echoes of the same forces that shape stars and planets. In miniature, your body is a cosmos, alive with fields and waves and rhythms. You rest in this thought. The universe is not distant, it is immediate. It is within you as much as around you. Your mind wanders to memory. Memories are horizons too. They are glimpses of moments long past, carried forward like starlight. Just as the light from distant galaxies shows the universe as it was, your memories show your life as it was. They are not the present, but they still shine, illuminating who you are. And just as the cosmic horizon reveals only part of the universe, your memory reveals only part of your life. There is always more beyond recall, hidden yet real. The human horizon, like the cosmic horizon, is not the whole, but it is enough to give meaning, enough to guide you forward. You breathe in and your mind drifts to imagination. Unlike memory, imagination points forward. It reaches beyond the visible, beyond the measurable, into the realm of possibility. It is your personal multiverse, the endless branching of what if, the creative sea from which new worlds are born. Imagination, like the universe itself, expands without end. There is always more to dream, more to envision, more to unfold. In this way, your human horizon is not a limit, but a promise. Your body grows heavier now, sinking into rest, but your mind remains light, floating in wonder. You realize that to be human is to live at the meeting point of the infinite and the finite. You carry both in equal measure, your heartbeat, your breath, your body, finite, temporary, bound by time, your thoughts, your questions, your wonder, infinite, unbounded, open like the stars. Together, they make you whole. The human horizon is not something to cross. It is something to live inside. It is the circle of your being, the way you hold the universe within your chest. You do not need to see beyond it tonight. You only need to rest in the knowledge that you already carry infinity with you. You breathe, soft and slow. Your chest rises and falls like the curve of galaxies. Your heartbeat echoes the pulse of time. Your thoughts drift outward like starlight. You are here within your own horizon, safe and whole. But as you rest more deeply, another thought rises, gentle as a tide. If your body and mind can bend, stretch and change, what does that mean for time itself? Could time, like you, be flexible, shifting, gentle? The question settles softly, like the pause between breaths. Is time as fixed as it feels, or does it bend, flex and flow with the rhythm of the universe? You drift toward the thought, into the gentle flexibility of time. The gentle flexibility of time. Time does not move with rigid steps, but bends with motion and gravity. Your body feels its flow, yet the cosmos reveals its softness. Seconds stretch near mountains, rivers and stars, then contract again. You drift in the truth that time itself is not fixed, but gentle and alive. You rest inside the horizon of your own body, your breath rising and falling like galaxies. The question lingers softly in your chest. If you are flexible, if you can change, might time itself also be flexible? For so long, time was imagined as rigid, a perfect steady river flowing forward, the same for all beings in all places. Seconds were thought to tick with universal certainty, each moment matching the next like beads on a string. This picture of time comforted humanity for centuries, but the cosmos, in its quiet wisdom, revealed something different. Time is not rigid. Time bends. You drift into this thought as though floating on a river that changes its pace with the landscape. In some places it rushes faster, in others it slows to a crawl. Time, too, moves differently depending on where you are, how you move, what surrounds you. It is flexible, alive, sensitive to the fabric of space. Einstein revealed this truth through his theory of relativity. Time is not separate from space, but woven together with it. Space-time, he called it. A fabric that stretches, curves, and responds to gravity and motion. And just as space can bend around stars and planets, so too can time. You breathe slowly and imagine standing beside a mountain. The mountain's gravity pulls gently on space-time, curving it. Clocks near its base tick just a little slower than clocks farther away. The difference is tiny, imperceptible to your daily senses. But it is real. Time itself flows differently depending on where you stand. Now picture yourself moving quickly, perhaps on a spaceship rushing near the speed of light. To you, inside, time feels normal. Your heart beats, your thoughts drift, your seconds pass in rhythm. But to an observer watching you, your clock ticks slower. Your seconds stretch, your journey lengthens. Time bends with your motion. This truth is not abstract. It is woven into the fabric of your daily life, though you rarely notice. GPS satellites above Earth must account for both effects. Their clocks tick faster because they are farther from Earth's gravity, yet slower because of their speed in orbit. Without adjusting for the flexibility of time, your navigation would falter. Even in ordinary life, the bending of time quietly guides you. You rest with this thought, comforted. Time is not rigid, not harsh. It is soft, adaptable, responsive, like water flowing around stones, like fabric stretching with movement. Time adjusts itself gently to the contours of existence. You imagine the cosmos as a vast loom, space-time the threads woven tightly together. Planets, stars, and galaxies tug at the threads, creating dips and folds. Within these folds, time stretches and contracts, flowing differently for every traveler. It is a cosmic tapestry, alive with motion. This flexibility reveals itself most strongly in the presence of great mass. Near a black hole, for instance, time slows to a near halt compared to the universe beyond. If you hovered close to its horizon and then returned, you would find that while only hours passed for you, ages had passed outside. The cosmos allows such differences not as paradoxes, but as part of its natural rhythm. You pause here, imagining yourself resting near such a place. The seconds around you stretch long and soft, like a lullaby slowed to half its pace. You float in this drawn-out time, peaceful, unhurried. Even without black holes, time bends gently all around you. On Earth, your feet are closer to the planet's center than your head. In the tiniest measure, time at your feet ticks more slowly than at your head. You live each day within this quiet gradient of time. The flexibility is everywhere, though subtle. You breathe and the thought deepens. Perhaps your own sense of time mirrors this cosmic truth. There are days that rush forward, moments that vanish before you grasp them, and there are days that stretch when seconds feel wide and hours linger. Your mind too feels the bending of time, shaping memory and experience into rhythms that are not always even. Time is not a rigid ruler. It is a living fabric. You close your eyes more fully and imagine your life as a path through this fabric. Each choice, each moment bends the cloth slightly, shaping the flow of your experience. Your heartbeat is a metronome, but not a prison. Your breath is a rhythm, but not a chain. You are carried, not bound, and this realization brings ease. If time can bend, you do not need to fear running out. You cannot hold it, but you can rest inside it, float with its currents, drift where it carries you. You picture the universe itself stretching in time, expanding into its future. Galaxies drift apart, stars are born and die, black holes form and fade. Yet through it all, time is not a march. It is a wave, a gentle pulse, a fabric that flexes with every step. Your body begins to relax more deeply, your breath falling into the slower rhythm of sleep. You are part of this flexibility, part of this softness. The same fabric that bends around galaxies bends around you. And as you hover in this thought, another question begins to glow softly in the distance. If time can bend and flex, if it can flow differently in different places, what does that mean for its direction? Does time always move forward, or could it flow differently altogether? The thought lingers like a slow tide. If time is flexible, does it always move one way? Or does the arrow of time itself bend, pointing us toward mysteries yet to be felt? The arrow of time and entropy. Time feels like a river flowing one way, carrying you from past to future. Its arrow is drawn by entropy, the gentle spread of order into disorder. Your life too follows this quiet unfolding, each moment dissolving into memory. Yet within the drift lies beauty, the poetry of change itself. You rest in the softness of time's flexibility, comforted by its ability to bend and stretch. Yet another question rises, steady and quiet. If time can bend, why does it always move forward? Why can you remember yesterday but not tomorrow? Why does a cup fall and shatter, but the pieces never leap back together? This forward flow is called the arrow of time. It is the sense that life carries you in a single direction, from birth to death, from dawn to dusk, from inhale to exhale. The arrow feels absolute, and yet it is guided by something subtle. Entropy. Entropy is the natural tendency of things to spread, to drift from order into disorder. It is the way a drop of ink dissolves in water, never to gather itself back into a perfect bead. It is the way heat moves from hot to cold, never the reverse. It is the way life leaves traces behind, moments dissolving into memory. You breathe slowly and picture a deck of cards neatly stacked. That order is fragile, rare. Shuffle them and you create disorder, a state that is far more likely, far more natural. Entropy is not chaos. It is simply the tendency toward greater possibility, greater mixing. The universe itself is guided by entropy. In the beginning it was highly ordered, hot, dense, smooth. Since then it has unfolded into greater complexity, greater spread. Stars formed, burned, and scattered their ashes. Galaxies drifted apart. Heat spread thinner across the cosmos. The arrow of time moves with entropy, carrying everything forward. You imagine this as a river. The river always flows downhill, not because it must, but because downhill offers more paths, more possibilities. Entropy is the slope of the river, guiding time forward. And yet, within this flow, beauty emerges. Stars live and die because of entropy. Oceans rise and fall, forests grow, decay, and nourish new life. Your body itself follows entropy, cells dividing, aging, dissolving, and within that process, meaning arises. Change gives life its rhythm. Without entropy, there would be no unfolding, no story, no arrow at all. You close your eyes and feel your own life along this arrow. The past is behind you, filled with memories like starlight still arriving. The future is ahead, unseen, not yet formed. You stand always at the present, the edge where possibility becomes history. This edge is the true horizon, the moment you are in now, fleeting yet infinite. Entropy ensures that memories exist only in one direction. The past is stored in traces, in your brain, in the shape of rivers, in the fossil record of Earth. The future holds no such traces yet. That is why you can remember yesterday but not tomorrow. It is not cruelty, but the natural rhythm of the arrow. And yet you find peace here. There is comfort in knowing that the arrow points forward. Life carries you gently, steadily, without reversal, without confusion. Each step is part of the unfolding, and you do not need to go backward. You only need to rest in the flow. You breathe again, deeper now. Inhale. The arrow pulls you forward. Exhale, the river widens into memory. Each breath is entropy in miniature, energy moving, order dissolving, life flowing. Even stars obey this arrow. Their fuel burns, their order declines, and in that decline light is born. The very starlight that guides you at night exists because entropy allows energy to flow. Without entropy, the stars would never shine. You drift in this realization. What you call loss is also illumination. What you call disorder is also creation. The arrow of time, far from a harsh rule, is the gentle unfolding of possibility. Still, a thought lingers. If entropy guides the arrow forward, what lies at the end of its path? Physicists imagine a far future called the heat death of the universe, a time when all energy is evenly spread, when no gradients remain, when nothing new can happen. It is a vision of silence, a still river that has reached its sea. The thought might seem heavy, but tonight it feels more like a lullaby. The heat death, if it comes, is not destruction, but rest. The universe, after its long unfolding, would fall into quiet balance, every ripple stilled. Even this, entropy assures, is part of the flow. But that horizon is unimaginably distant, far beyond your life, far beyond humanity, far beyond even the stars we see. You need not fear it. It is only a reminder that all things move toward balance, toward spread, toward rest. You return now to your own arrow. Each moment you live is part of this flow. You cannot reverse it, but you can rest inside it. Entropy does not take meaning away. It gives meaning by ensuring that each moment is unique, each instant unrepeatable. You are carried forward not to lose, but to become. You let this truth soften you. Your body, like the cosmos, is a river of change. You do not need to resist it. You only need to float with its current. The arrow of time does not ask you to run. It asks you to surrender, to trust the flow. Each second dissolves, but each second also gives birth to the next. This rhythm is life's gentle promise. And as you rest in this thought, another question rises softly, waiting at the horizon. If time carries us forward, always into change, what lies beyond the flow of moments? What lies at the edge of time itself, where the arrow meets eternity? The river carries you onward, its arrow unbroken. Ahead lies the horizon of forever, where time itself may meet its end, or its beginning once again. The horizon of forever. At the farthest reach you meet the question of eternity. Does time end in silence or unfold into something new? The cosmos offers no final answer, only the rhythm of mystery. You rest in its endless song, dissolving into the horizon of forever. The arrow of time has carried you forward, gently, steadily, through beginnings and endings, through horizons and hidden rooms. Now you find yourself drifting toward the farthest thought of all, the horizon of forever. You pause here, letting the silence deepen. What does it mean to speak of forever? The word feels heavy, infinite, impossible to grasp, and yet it is also soft, like a lullaby. Forever is not something to solve. It is something to rest inside. You close your eyes more deeply and imagine yourself at the edge of time. You have floated past stars and galaxies, past black holes and cosmic horizons, past the arrow of entropy itself. Ahead lies a place where questions grow larger than answers. Ahead lies forever. Physicists imagine many possible fates for the universe. Each one is a story written in the language of science, yet each feels also like a poem. In one story, the universe expands endlessly, galaxies drifting farther apart until their light can no longer reach each other. Stars burn out, black holes fade through Hawking radiation, and all energy spreads evenly. This is the heat death, a cosmos not destroyed but resting, balanced, quiet, timeless. In another story, the expansion may slow and reverse. Gravity may one day gather everything back together, folding galaxies and stars into a final collapse called the Big Crunch. In this vision, forever is not stillness, but a return, a circle closing on itself, perhaps to open again with a new breath, a new bang, a new unfolding. Other possibilities linger too. Perhaps expansion will tear space apart in a big rip, as dark energy grows stronger, unraveling galaxies, stars, and even atoms. Or perhaps forever is stranger still. A cycle of expansions and contractions, endless universes blooming and fading like flowers in an eternal meadow. You do not need to choose among these fates tonight. You only need to let them wash over you, gentle waves of possibility. Forever is not a single picture. It is a horizon too vast to hold in one frame. You breathe and forever expands with you. Your thoughts drift back to the present, to your own body resting in quiet. In some sense, forever is already here. The atoms within you will never truly vanish. They will scatter, transform, join new patterns. The carbon of your breath may one day drift into plants, into oceans, into stars yet unborn. The iron of your blood may circle back into the heart of a planet. You are part of eternity not in abstract theory, but in the simple truth of matter and energy, never destroyed, only changed. You rest in this knowledge. Forever is not something distant. It is woven into you, and yet the horizon remains. You imagine standing at its edge where time as you know it fades into something else. Does the arrow of time stop here, or does it curve into a new shape? Does forever mean silence, or does it mean renewal? The cosmos does not answer. It never has. It only offers its silence, its mystery, its vastness. And you find in that silence a new kind of peace. You realize that the horizon of forever is not a destination, but a perspective. It is the view you gain when you let go of needing certainty. Forever is the space you enter when you surrender to the mystery. You let your breath fall into rhythm again. Inhale, the universe expands. Exhale, it rests. Inhale, beginnings arise. Exhale, endings dissolve. The rhythm itself is forever, a cycle without final stop. Even in your daily life you glimpse this horizon. When you watch a sunset, you feel forever in the glow that lingers after the sun dips below the sea. When you hold a memory, you feel forever in the way the past remains present inside you. When you dream, you feel forever in the way imagination breaks free of clocks and calendars. Forever is not only cosmic, it is human, woven into every heartbeat. You drift deeper into this thought. The stars themselves may fade, but wonder does not. The universe may rest, but mystery does not. Forever is not only what happens to galaxies. Forever is the way existence itself hums, even in silence. You begin to feel the boundaries of self soften. Where do you end and the cosmos begin? Where does your breath stop and the universe's breath continue? The distinction grows faint, like lines blurred by mist. forever dissolves boundaries, forever whispers that you are not apart, but part, a wave within the ocean, a note within the song, a flicker within the light. You rest here, calm, at peace. Forever is not something to fear. It is not an endless stretch of time. It is the gentle truth that there is always more, even when you cannot see it. Perhaps forever is simply this: belonging. Belonging to a story larger than yourself. Belonging to a universe that began in light, that unfolded through stars, that whispered through horizons. Belonging to a mystery that will never end. You breathe once more and forever breathes with you, and in this final thought you let yourself dissolve into rest. The horizon of forever is not far away. It is here, now, in the silence of your chest, in the rhythm of your breath, in the stars that shine faintly above. The journey does not end, it only continues, softly, endlessly, quietly. You drift into sleep, not away from the cosmos, but deeper into it. Forever is not a horizon you must cross. Forever is the song you are already singing, and so you rest, dissolving into the horizon of forever, where every ending is another beginning, and every breath is part of the endless song of the universe. The journey through the cosmos returns you gently to yourself. You are part of the infinite, yet held in the present moment. The universe hums within your breath, timeless and calm. You drift into sleep, resting inside the endless song of creation. You have traveled far. Through the first breath of the cosmos, the shoreless ocean of stars, the expanding silence and the bending of time itself. You have stood at horizons, lingered at black holes, and floated in the fullness of dark space. You have listened to whispers of other universes and returned to the horizon within your own chest. And now, as the journey draws to its close, you return to the simplest truth of all. You belong here. You belong to the universe, and it belongs to you. You breathe softly, and your breath carries the memory of everything you have traveled through. With each inhale, the cosmos expands. With each exhale, galaxies drift apart. The rise and fall of your chest is not separate from the story you have heard. It is the story written in your body. The atoms in your lungs are as old as the stars. The carbon in your cells once burned in the heart of suns. The iron in your blood was forged in explosions brighter than 1,000,000,000 skies. You are not apart from the cosmos, observing it at a distance. You are a continuation of it, a living chapter in its unfolding. The horizon of forever may stretch beyond sight, but you do not need to chase it. You carry it within you. The infinite does not ask to be solved, only to be felt. And in this moment, in the stillness of rest, you are feeling it completely. You think of entropy, the arrow of time. Its flow gives your life rhythm. Each moment drifts into the past, unrepeatable yet precious. You cannot hold the river still, but you can float in its current. You can let it carry you softly forward. There is peace in this surrender. Time bends and stretches, horizons shift and expand. Stars are born and die. Universes may bloom and fade, yet beneath all of it there is a deeper rhythm, a steady hum, a quiet song that never ends. It is the same hum you felt in the cosmic background, the same rhythm you hear now in your own heart. You are not lost in the vastness, you are held by it. The universe is not asking you to understand everything. It is only asking you to rest within it, to feel its vastness as a cradle, to let its mysteries soothe you, not burden you. So you close your eyes more deeply and the boundaries blur. The room fades, the world fades, even your body fades until there is only the rhythm of breath and the softness of night. You dissolve into the quiet, and in that dissolution you feel whole. Forever is not a horizon in the distance. It is here, in the gentle continuity of change, in the way every ending becomes a beginning. Forever is the song of the cosmos, and tonight you are part of its chorus. You drift now gently into sleep, not away from the journey, but deeper into it. For in your dreams the cosmos continues, oceans of stars, whispers of light, horizons unfolding. Sleep is not departure, but participation. Even in rest, you are carried by the universe, and so you let go. You let go of questions, of answers, of needing to know. You let go of edges, of time, of horizons. You let go of yourself as separate. You rest instead in belonging. You belong to the stars, to the atoms, to the river of time. You belong to the mysteries you cannot solve, to the horizons you cannot cross. You belong to the hum of the universe, to the horizon of forever. And as you breathe slowly, peacefully, you realize you are not at the end of the story. You are part of the story, and the story never ends. The cosmos is still expanding, the stars are still burning, time is still unfolding, and you are here, resting in its song. Sleep comes like a gentle tide. You do not resist it. You let it carry you. Forever is here, forever is now, forever is you, dissolving softly into the endless embrace of the universe.